What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be telling you things that Parks and Recreation did better than The Office. Full disclaimer, I'm more of an Office fan than Parks and Recreation fan, but there are some things I think Parks and Recreation did better. Also disclaimer, I'm sorry about the bad quality. I don't have a very great setup, and this is just a slideshow of the images you are seeing on screen, so I apologize for that. I'm not a very good editor. Alright. As someone who has been obsessing over film and studying it for a few years now and wants to become a director, I'm here to tell you, in general, things that Parks and Recreation did better than The Office. So the picture you see on screen here is a picture of the writer's room on Parks and Recreation. Michael Schur, Leslie Knope, Chris Pratt, and the other two guys that I don't know their name because I didn't do that much research. I think that's Chris Pratt. Oops, anyways, so here is point number 1. Writing. The writing in Parks and Recreation is far more consistent than The Office. The characters remain mostly the same, each having their own quirks and personalities, and the writers stuck with it. Besides a few minor changes, whereas The Office, I feel, while most characters remain the same, some definitely change, and the most drastic example of this is Andy in Season 8 and 9. Andy's character was completely revamped into almost complete opposite of him before those seasons. Funny, a cappella obsessed, Andy turned into a mean, unstable, and unlikable version of Andy Bernard. So, that is my point number 1, that the characters are more consistent and have less drastic changes. Moving on to point number 2, it is plot. This is a big thing to get into, but I'm going to keep it as short as possible. The plot and storyline of Parks is far more easy to follow and has a theme. The Office, for example, is where pretty much each and every episode is its own little story in 21 minutes, and there's nothing really drawing them together, or a common theme, whereas Parks mostly does have a theme. Season 3 was Chris and Ben coming into Pawnee. Season 4 was Leslie getting elected for councilwoman. The whole season kind of revolves around one or two certain main topics, and the episodes tie into each other. The episodes before Leslie's election night, it was campaigning, and then the debate. It all had the theme, and the episodes put together made sense. The Office has no real theme or goal, in my opinion. What would you say, for example, the theme of Season 5 of The Office is? The first thing that comes to your mind is probably Jim and Pam getting engaged. Yet, it is in the first few episodes and over so fast, the rest of the season had no real plot to follow. That is point number 2. Again, I'm not digging at The Office. It's a phenomenal show, but here are just some things that Parks, in my opinion, did better. Don't hate on me. Alright, number 3 is the realistic nature / characters. These two things kind of tie into one. Let me explain. To me, the Parks Department seems much more realistic than Dunder Mifflin. In Parks, you see them doing work and achieving things, building new parks, the Harvest Festival, becoming councilwoman. They all seem so much more realistic than The Office. The only thing we see there is the occasional sales call and visit with a client. Makes no sense to me how they did their jobs or even managed to stay in business with an incompetent boss. And you could say it's the humor of the show, the mystery of how the branch does so well with a boss like Michael Scott. But I do wish we got to see more effort or things happening in regards to the work they were actually there to do. The characters are more realistic because here's the second point of this third point, if that makes any sense. The characters are more realistic because, like I said previously, the show dives deeper into everyone's lives, causing them to become more of a person and more realistic. Each of the characters on Parks are dived into, and they all have very bold personalities. We as viewers know a lot about everyone who works in the Parks Department, whereas The Office, we don't know much about Kevin or Oscar or Angela or Phyllis. Sure, we know the basics, like who they're in a relationship with, or anything regarding main events in their lives, but Parks has less characters, which gives us a more profound understanding of each character, causing them to become more realistic and likable. And here is my final point. And one final short one is more of a personal preference. I like how Parks often refers to things that's happened in previous seasons or episodes. It makes it feel less like a TV show. And how the cold opens most of the time have a correlation with the episode. Like, you know how Jim stacked Dwight's desks on top of each other? I wish at the beginning of the episode, in the background, we saw Dwight trying to get it down or something, just to make it feel less scripted. Alright, guys, so that was all my points on Parks and Recreation and what they did better. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want to see more videos. I am someone who wants to go into film, wants to become a director, which is a crazy dream, so huge, so far away. But let me know how I did on my little research there, and I know it was short, but I think I put my point across. I do think The Office is a better show than Parks and Recreation because of the humor in it, and the actors are also great in The Office, and it's my favorite show of all time, always will be. But those are just some things that I think Parks and Recreation did a little bit better. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this.